Today's conversation is not for entertainment. I'll be joined by my special guest, Shunetta Rochelle Garth Owens.
Shunetta Rochelle Garth Owens.
Shunetta Rochelle Garth Owens. Proprietor of All OK Boutique here in Huntsville, Alabama, she has endured a hard life, including incarceration and the unimaginable loss of her daughter, Alexis Garth, who was taken on New Year's Day, 2023. This is a story of consequence, grief, and rebuilding. And if you're listening in a dark hour, I pray you will discover light enough to take your next step. If this conversation helps you, please leave a like and subscribe, and actually share with someone who needs it. And you say pronouncing your name the right way is Shunetta?
Shunetta.
Okay, Shunetta, if anything becomes too heavy, we can pause at any moment. If there's any legal matter you can't discuss, you can simply just say, I can't speak about that. I want to be sensitive as I can be, understanding who you really are. And the city knows who you are, but this is bigger than that. Yeah. Right. And you do prefer to be addressed as Shunetta? That's fine? Okay.
That's fine.
I want to give the audience some preference, some preface before we get into everything. So where'd you come from and what was your childhood environment like?
It may not make sense to a lot of people, but I came from everywhere. To elaborate, I was born in Decatur General Hospital by way of Belmont, Alabama. My dad and mom met there and had me and my siblings. And in between time, was with my Aunt Mildred there or my grandfather there. And then we had some turmoil that led my dad to go away for incarceration. And that led me to leave and go into Huntsville, Alabama, and be raised by my mother's mother, my grandmother, Beulah. So it was Mason Court, Terry Heights, Northwood, McVeigh, Bunnell, then back, to Belmina, and then Decatur, Alabama, to find my mother. She was cross town. She was still drug addicted, but I just wanted to be with my mom. So it's basically I'm from everywhere. Athens, Bunny Dune. I'm really from everywhere.
What did you need as a young girl that you didn't receive?
I needed my mother.
Yeah.
I had my father. Even though he was gone, he was still always there.
And I heard your grandmother, and
yes,
you referenced her even off camera before too.
Yes,
so she must have been in your life.
I had Beulah, and I had Mildred Malone, and then I had Gwendolyn Garth. So the catch was, I did have powerful women figures in my life, to pour into me, but I didn't have my mother. I needed my mother.
I'll script a little bit. How old was your mom when she had you? Do you know?
Yes, I know. She was 17 when she got pregnant with me, 18, and graduated when she had me.
And what year were you born?
19,
I just gotta ask.
1979.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So yeah. Being outside in 85 or 84 when you 5 or 6 or something like it was way different back then. Yeah. Okay, moving forward. When did you first realize life was becoming dangerous spiritually, emotionally, and physically?
As a young girl, I endured some things. I won't elaborate. I would just leave it to that because that's not, but I endured some things.
But when you say as a young girl, can you give a specific age?
Yes, I can put probably from 12 up. I endured some things. I've endured, family members that they shouldn't do what they do to family members, but I've endured that. But the catch is I've overcame it, and some people may not get it, but I've forgiven and moved on. That's not mine to carry anymore. That's theirs. If they can continue to carry the baggage, I gave it up. I took the bitterness, and I now use it for the good, the greater good.
Yeah, that can only be mended and or made whole by God.
True.
Yeah.
And you got to
I
give
just
it
had
to
to
him.
throw that out there because I know, because as you telling me that you've endured that and that you're fine and you let that go, I get a genuine feeling from you
I really
that that's
did.
true. Yeah. And so, but I know that you weren't able to do that
No.
without God. Yeah. Okay. Now, speak on the part that people in the city whisper about a bit. And I want to speak it plainly in your words. What did you go to prison for? What was the conviction? And what was the sentence? Because if I'm not mistaken, is this 03?
I was going to ask you which time.
I'm specifically talking about the time that I can remember.
03.
That's 03.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, non-transparently, and y'all, I tell everybody, I'm pretty much an open book. Unlike most, I don't think I've done anything that I'm ashamed of. 1996 was really the first time that I went to prison. I was certified as an adult with a closed juvenile record, and that was for a bank. Not proud of it.
At 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was outside. Yeah.
And consequences were different, but I served my time and got out. Wasn't lengthy time because I was, I didn't really know. But if we're gonna discuss it, let's be real about it.
Yeah.
So 1996, and then in 2003, the time you're speaking on was actually my third conviction because I had another conviction in 99 for a armed robbery, and then in 2003 for armed bank robbery. And that was the longest sentence for me. It was actually close to 200 months federal time with a 10-year state sentence. So the way it was, I was arrested, I was charged, I was held.
Was that federal?
Yes, it was federal.
And so that would be the Clinton administration had just left office with 80% of your time. Okay, I apologize for breaking you.
You're fine.
Yeah.
People don't understand it, so it potentially give the answers that some are looking for, not just in my case, but many. But moving on, I like I said, they sentence you in months, and I had that sentence. But when I caught that 2003 charge, I was on state probation. I had a suspended sentence of 3 split 10, and I was almost 2 years into that. So here I go, basically, 10 years in state prison, run consecutive to the time that the federal had gave me.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Shunetta. I did not know that. That is crazy. I don't even have to look down at the script. I gotta ask. I just absolutely gotta ask. I'm sure everybody's thinking what I'm thinking. We see you sitting here, beautiful woman. You don't look like anything that you've been through. Now we're talking about a 17-year-old girl doing a 10-year run in federal prison.
17 first time, state. 21 second time.
So 21 was when you did the 10 years.
23 was 10 years. Actually, I did 12 flat years, and from 2003, I did most of my 20s all the way up to my 30s in federal prison. I came home in my early 30s.
I have to ask, what was that like? Was anything, predatory? It's being that young. I'm sure it was old people in there. You would be considered at the time a YN, and I don't mean it like that, but you would have been considered that, and I'm sure people want to play games on you, but I know that you little boo. Like, I already know that you can fight and that you might, I don't know if you armed yourself in there. Like, I need to know anything about that 12 years. And how was that for you?
When I was arrested, I was basically in the county jail until the feds came and got me, which wasn't long. And they took me to Jackson County which is Scottsboro, Alabama. And I was, I did know a few people there.
Yeah.
And really, to be honest with you, when I was in Jackson County, I was okay for the first weeks. Nobody really preyed on me, but they did try me. At first, I was very passive, but then and the people I was with can honestly, if they were here, I just went off. Like I just lost it, I just started just fighting. And, they would call them and ask, hey, can you come get her out of our jail, to where the feds would tell them, no, that's what we pay you for, to hold on to her. And like I said, I had people there I knew. So I was, glad to have the talks to where, hey, boo, calm down. You got to go to prison. You don't want this to follow you. So I did calm down, but being huddled up in the little county jail at that time, that's when they were introducing, meth was just coming. And you ran into so many people like they done blowed their kids up and
the meth labs.
Yes. Yeah. And then they come in there and you want to throw your weight around on the little black young girl. No.
It wasn't going to happen.
I wasn't. I'm going to let you. But, a lot of my fighting came about really protecting. Like, if it was an elder and you disrespect them, I'm going to slide you. Hearing, people done hurt their kids while trying to cook the devil's, recipe, and you don't have any remorse, but you want to come throw your weight around. Then I just felt like at the time I had nothing to lose. I'm finna go to prison anyway. So
yeah.
Was it scary? Yeah.
So it wasn't like I'm adding more negative on my jacket and that's gonna be more time, because they had already gave you time.
No. Actually at that time I hadn't been sentenced.
Oh, you hadn't been sentenced.
I was waiting in a holding facility for them to sentence me, and I was going back and forth to court.
Yeah. Would you say that you was afraid at that time?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. It's kind of hard being scared when all your life you couldn't be soft. Yeah.
Well, not the era that you grew up in. It wasn't even it wasn't allowed for boys or girls, honestly.
No. My grandma didn't get in touch with God until like she lost her mom, and it turned over a new leaf in her. But coming up under her at a certain time, you gonna fight or you gonna fight her. Now with Mildred and Gwen, they were deep rooted in the church, and so I knew both sides. I knew right from wrong, basically is what I'm getting at. I knew right from wrong. But a lot of my stuff was survival, if we gonna touch on it.
Yeah.
A lot of my things was for survival. Before I rob you, why not go in the bank where the money FDIC insured?
Now, on that, did you have kids at that time?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So because when I hear survival, then I can add that up and that makes sense for me.
All my brothers and sisters, and then I had kids.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had raised all your brothers. But now I always knew it was a lot of you guys, and that all y'all look just like you. But I didn't know that you actually raised all your brothers and sisters, and I didn't know that about your mom. When you came back to Decatur from Bell Minor, that she was still messing with, under the influence, still messing with the drugs and everything like that. So I didn't know that. That had to have a major effect on what you was able to do, being able to come in and out the house at whatever time you want to come in and out the house, being grown at an early age. Yeah. And so that's crazy. But you say you had your dad in your life, though.
I did have my dad in my life, but I had my first kid, and I'm here. You get what I'm saying? At that time, I could have, went with my father, but I was longing for my mother. I felt like my dad had did his part. You get what I'm saying? I could always call on him, can call on him now. But a daddy can't give you what a mama can give you. Just like a mother can't give you what a father can give you. And I needed my mother.
Yeah.
But when I got to where she was and I saw my siblings, it was a different mindset. It was more of a mindset of they need me.
Mm-hmm.
Mama ain't gonna do this right. I didn't want my siblings to end up separated here and there or any of that, because if it wasn't, you know, a Mima or Gwen or my grandfather or my grandmother, there was nobody. My brothers still was back and forth. You know, they were with my dad. My brothers were, you know, with my dad. They'll come stay with my mom. But then they got like me when they got to a certain age where they, as they say, when smelling yourself,
Mm-hmm.
we're going with mama because mama's going to let us do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I got to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be here. Mama not going to watch them. And then there come one. And then there come the next one.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 of us that she birthed. And I'm the eldest of the 5. So they come, and then she already had my little sister, and it was just, I gotta be here.
Yeah, no doubt. That's for sure. That's a crazy dynamic in wanting to be a daughter, but having to shift to basically be a mother as a child. Back to the conviction and the prison sentence. During your time there, what did you learn about choices, anger, and consequences?
I'm gonna say this first. It was a different catch hitting the compound. At first, everything was really good, but then you do have those times that somebody wanna try you,
Mm-hmm.
and I was weighing my options between I really want to go home to my kids, but I gotta be here right now, and I don't want to go through prison being known as this compound that you can pump me. And I'm going to hit anger and choices at the same time. I let my anger get the best of me there, and I beat a girl with a lock. I stayed in lockup for about a year before they shipped me to another compound. In that one-man cell, I learned that anger was already one of the reasons why I was there. Because, you don't just go out and do things because you want to do them. You're angry. You're full of so much rage, different things. But also the choice. I still had the choice not to hit that girl with that lock, but I did. And that was the first revelation of anger and choices. I let my anger get the best of me at that moment, and many more that I had to reflect back on while being held for that year in solitary confinement. But also I had a choice, Major. I had a choice. I could have turned around and walked away, but I had a point to prove I felt at that time. And was my choice good? Today I can tell you, no, it wouldn't, because, being out here on the streets, I've learned also I can let my anger shadow me and I can reflect it to you. And I can also let my choice take me back somewhere. So that's why I said I can touch on the anger and my choices at the same time, because then versus now, I could have done a lot different. But I was so angry.
There were 2 different people, 2 different mindsets.
You're right.
And the frontal lobe doesn't fully develop until about 25. And you saying that you was 21, 22, 23 at this time, and you hadn't had a mature thought yet. No fault of your own, just maturity, and then being ushered into living more adult life and trying to take care of people. But I ain't throwing you no excuses. I'm not doing that because I know you take full responsibility for your actions.
I do.
Now, to the lock, I just gotta ask, was it a lock in a sock or just a naked lock with the and just you put your finger around the lock and just the lock? And so did the person are they fine today?
Yes,
Okay,
she
praise
is.
God.
We
Okay.
actually talk.
Okay, praise God.
She lives in another city. But yeah, we actually talk.
But it didn't sound like she had survived that one. That's why I had to ask.
She was leaking, but she fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah.
I love her. We just.
Now, after your year in solitary confinement, was that 23-1? Or what is
it was 23-1. 23-1. But a person like me, I didn't even really take the one.
So just in a cell by yourself, the majority of the day.
Well, unless you get a bunkmate. Well, it's called a shoe,
The
special
shoe.
housing
Yeah,
unit.
yeah.
And it's two bunks in there. They try to keep you separated. But if they, sometimes it got full because people cut up. You may get a bunkie.
A bunkie would be a blessing in the shoe,
It
wouldn't
really
it?
would.
My God.
It was.
I need some human interaction.
I at times wanted somebody to get in trouble because I haven't, there's nobody. But normally it's nobody really come in and out of it. And if they do, it's 24, 48-hour investigation. So it was more of past my time counting bricks.
Now, at what age was that 1 year in the shoe program?
I was 24 then.
And so what you said, I used my time counting bricks, but was books optional?
They would bring books here and there. I mean,
I know you'll come read them so fast.
And you do. But then you also got to think about people don't do their job. If you're supposed to bring the book card on a Wednesday, you got this authority. If you don't want to bring it to me, you don't have to. And if I keep asking you, piss you off, I just won't get it for another day.
And it's 04. We don't got the same technology. We don't got the same records on count. Your complaint don't mean none. Your complaint in 04 could cause you physical harm from a CO.
Because you in there.
Yeah.
Just in the case of women, I tell people it is a lot different in women facilities, but it's not different. Everything that can go on in a men's facility can go on in a women's facility, but it's just, it's not as bad, but it can get there.
Now, I don't know if you want to answer this. It's very optional. Did you pray in that season? And if so, I know we're not supposed to pry. Man, you're supposed to go in your closet and be private and pray in private. But if so, how did you pray?
A lot of my praying came about during shower time. I prayed because I grew up in the church. That's another thing. I honestly grew up in the church, New Hopewell and Mount Zion Primitive Baptist, and church all around. I grew up in the church. But my shower time was my praying time. Late at night when all the lights was off, I would have my praying time.
Was it looked at as a weakness from other inmates? I just got to ask because
Really? You had your people that would say, you praying to a God that don't exist? But it didn't ever bother me because I knew God. Oftentimes, to really be honest, I would get like a Muslim sister or something, and they really didn't. I didn't pry in their religion, and they didn't pry in mine. Or I would, on my rec time, I would go out, and I would while walking or so, and then sometimes I would take that hour and go out and look up, and so yes, I prayed. I kept my God with me.
Yeah. I had to ask that before we moved forward. Now, the rebuilding your faith portion of your life that you, I guess, where we're in now, what does ministry look like in your daily life?
Now, it's a lot. It's most of my life. It's most of my everyday life. I get up. I have a table. We have the nightstands by our bed, the his and hers, and mine is on the top and bottom full of books.
And your wonderful husband is here as well. Thank you for coming and supporting your wife. And earlier, I didn't mean to disrespect you when I said on camera that your wife was beautiful. I mean, it just is what it is. My wife's beautiful, and you gotta see that big ring. See that big ring that he got, and he looked like he'll really hurt me over here. And if y'all can hear his voice, it's super low like Barry White. And show the ring real quick, and the ring is huge. And he's a wonderful guy. He's doing a wonderful job. We went to the boutique, and he was there with her, supporting her as well. It's back to the faith thing because you have past trauma. So what boundaries do you keep so you don't bleed out on people that you're trying to help? Because some people that you could be trying to help actually could have very similar, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not similar because your life is way different, but they could have, you see what I'm saying, had a similar type past. And so what do you do? What boundaries do you set with the people that you might try to help?
Are you saying like so it won't be like a trigger?
Yes.
I'm glad you asked that question.
I had to.
I don't have boundaries.
Mm.
I can't help you with a boundary. May not make sense.
No,
but
it makes perfect sense.
I can't help you with a boundary.
Yeah, you locked in with the Lord.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I had to give it all up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna touch bases on that real fast.
Go ahead, take your time.
Because I like to kind of be real to let people know how I did get right here. So 6 years ago, I was actually still living here at the time. And I was sitting in my truck one day and God whispered to me and said, if you ever want anything to be better, you got to move. And I had already decided I really wanted to get away from Decatur and go back to close to my setting, be close to my dad and my Mima and all of them. So I moved. I went and found a home that they were getting ready. My dad helped me. And while they were fixing it, I still stayed here, actually right on Gaslight. And I did move. I moved houses. But things still wasn't going quite right. And God came back and said, I told you to move. But my shop was still here. I was running a store on the Beltline, M&S Boutique. And he had reached out to my mom, them. I actually had to work. I was on day shift in at Toyota. And I was battling between getting my stuff out and having to work because I was fresh there and I didn't want to lose my job. And so he got with my mom and my sister and them, and they like, you work and we're going to get you out of here. They got the U-Haul, they packed me up. And from that point on, I listened to God and I moved. I moved to Reed, Alabama. And then, crazy part, and it'll get you to hear, but I'm going to just give you the short version of it. I moved to Reed, Alabama into a 2-bedroom because at the time, I really wasn't dating. I said I was going to leave, I wasn't dating. Me and him were like best friends. I could call on him about anything. He was there, he would listen. And so I got a 2-bedroom house. And my middle daughter ended up coming to stay with me, and she had a son. And on down the line, me and him did connect and start dating. And I had more grandkids. And at that time, Alexis had called me. And she said, hey, Mom, I'm about to get a new house. Do you want this one? And Major, I said, babe, we don't need all that house, 4-bedroom, we don't need all that house. What am I gonna do with it? And so I told him, no, I didn't want it. But God kept nudging at me. You need to go where I send you. So we discussed it, and he came up with the idea, said, put the boutique in that. We're going to get the bigger house, put the boutique in the house. But I'm going to show you something. And so we got the house. And we got the house in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Because she moved out that year, and then next year she...
We're going to get to that, boo.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get to that.
I just had to address that part.
Yeah. And I didn't even know that. I didn't know any of that particulars from Reed back to...
Yes. So I moved into the bigger house. And that was a part of still what I'm getting at, God telling me to move. So I moved, and I moved for a reason. So that was the thing. Like 6 years ago, I stood big on my faith, Now, was I walking a straight line, Major?
Yeah.
I was partially. I was better than I've ever been, but I was still
straddling the fence.
Yeah, I was still selling drugs at the time, and I was working,
Yeah.
I had a good, but I was still in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but then I got this good job. You got to weigh your options. I got to let you go. I'm here now. So, and that was that. Like I stood on my faith, and I'm, that was the beginning of my journey.
And standing on your faith, seeing the end from the beginning, it ain't happened yet, but I believe that this is what God got for me. That can be very scary and intimidating.
And you know as well, like it is scary. Because we've all stood on faith for something,
Mm-hmm.
We've all stood. And sometimes that standing don't go how we think.
Not at all.
Even though it's God's will for us to even, shake.
Yeah.
But I just stood on my faith.
Yeah. Like, and so you was gonna take me fast, and I didn't want you to take me fast, Shunetta. And so I wanted to get to the business, which is I want you to tell us what All OK Boutique represents and what's the mission behind it.
That make me smile. For a year, a whole year, I worked a lot of overtime. And this is happy, y'all, like happy because I know I got on my family nerves with, I kept it a secret for a while because I coming up, you learn to, after telling people stuff so many times, you learn to be quiet. God said, be quiet. And I was quiet. So for like a whole year, a few people knew that was close to me. My brother, my husband, my sister, people like that. My daughters. And I said, I'm going to work and I'm going to open this boutique. And, I'm glad you asked that because, it gives me to touch bases on that. So All OK Boutique, my daughter, her favorite word was all okay. So I went and I had to get something to incorporate to go along with her. But All OK, what it does is it's a retail boutique specializing in upscale, savory women's clothing, club wear, accessories. But what we do is, off every sale, 20 to 50% of the sale goes to a different organization that's already keyed into my terminal. That was when it was set up. So this is not me having to go in and take this out. It's in there. I used to give to 3 different ones. I don't name them for the reasons some of them don't, and I've had to learn it the hard way. They don't care to be named.
Yeah, no.
But I used to do it to 3, and now I'm down to 2. But yes, like if you do a $20 transaction, 10 of that automatically goes there, and 10 of it goes there. So it's a split transaction. And what that does is it helps.
Must be causes that you definitely believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's very honorable. Shucks, that's very honorable. To me, I want all the money. But I have not been through and or endured the things that you have been through to bring on that type of mindset. And so I can't even pretend like I even understand it all.
That's understandable. Though.
Yeah. Because I feel selfish immediately thinking, gee, what girl, you better get the other money. Yeah, I feel selfish right then.
That's what's wrong.
Yeah, that's what's wrong. What would you tell a woman who has a record and believes she can't own anything honorable? Because you're a business owner.
3-time business owner.
Yeah, multiple times over.
Major, I don't think I would tell them, look at me. Look at me. Here I am. Nothing. 3-time business owner. I got a lot of credits under my belt right now. And I'll share them with you whenever you're ready. But it goes further than business owner. It goes further than group lead for Card Express by way of Mazda Toyota. Almost 5 years now.
That's a bag.
It goes further from where I was to where I am now. Wife. I'm not the greatest mother still because I'm mending wounds with my children, but I'm better than I was. Author, minister, a few more titles that I can add. So I would hope looking at me, anybody know, any woman, man too, that they could do it. You can do anything you set your mind to.
But boo, everybody don't come out with that mindset or that type of relationship with God.
Major, I didn't come out with
it. Yeah, I didn't say you did, but you know what I'm saying? But you're sitting here with more time under your belt. You see what I'm saying? Than some of the ladies that I'm particularly thinking about. Because if a young lady go do a 5-year stretch, she get out, she's 28, she still basically can't think. She just start thinking. And so, you know, a young lady might be wondering, what, you know, she a business, she got a house, she a business owner. Like, I'm a nice looking girl too, and I got in trouble, and I want to own something too. And so that's why I had to ask, what would you tell them? You know, and apparently, you know, you are the proof and the pudding. You know, so I totally get that part, but I had to ask that.
That's a good question to ask, because I want everybody to know, don't never give up on your dreams.
Yeah. What does stability look like for you now?
I mean, I'm stable. I'm not rich. I'm still Shunetta. I'm still Boo. You know, I'm gonna help if I can figure out a way. But I'm comfortable. I don't have to worry how I'm gonna feed my kids or how I'm gonna buy my personals, help, keep our lights on. Those were the things then versus now, you know. Like I said, I got a decent job, and I didn't open a store to generate money to lift me, because it doesn't benefit me. It benefits the cause. And
it seemed like you was getting joy just from telling the young ladies what might look good on them when we came to your store. And it just seemed like that was something that you loved to do.
I do.
Just from while I was the little small time I was there observing. And that seemed like a calling for you, as far as that's going to keep you connected to some of the youth too. Because, it was 3 young ladies came in there. Everybody was vibrant and talking about what they knew. I think it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah,
so they had a birthday situation. Yeah, and they was getting them some clothes. Yeah, I liked it there.
What you said, Major, it bring me a lot of joy. And I feel like during the times that those young ladies come in there, some of them, we all, we all can feel the spirit sometimes. Some of them just need to hear, or just need that hug from you. And I tell them all the time, even if you don't come in here and buy anything, if you just need a hug, just come through the door. Or if you just need to talk, just come sit on the purple couch. So, it's purpose behind all okay.
Yeah. And a big purpose. And let's go ahead and segue into that. The loss that changed everything. If you're willing, I would like you to speak on Alexis. We want to do it with reverence and care and love. And so, could you tell me about Alexis as a child, her laugh, her temperament, what she loved?
So I had Alexis young, and Alexis' father had already been sent to prison, and he was older. Most people know Cool Roy. Cool Roy is a lot older.
Roy, yeah.
Than
I
me.
didn't know that was her dad.
Yes, Rodney is her father, and he was in the world at the time, and so he did some things that took him away. And when I had Alexis, and I'm a realist, so I never get on film to sugarcoat anything. Roy was gone, and I was involved with another man at the time, and I really didn't want Roy to have anything to do with Alexis. I wanted to raise my child with the man that was there,
the present guy.
Yes, and but that wasn't the right thing to do. So let's just say, But the type of kid Alexis was, getting to that, I had her young, still in school, nursing, trying to do my work. She was happy. She was a happy baby. She was a healthy baby. She was a happy baby. My grandfather and my Mima took out a lot of time with Alexis. Mind you, I was young. I can remember my grandfather came and was like, "You still in school and you can't do this by yourself," because my mom wasn't. She was there, but she wasn't there. She was on drugs. So it's just me and this little baby, and school, and I was working too. And he was like, "Give her to me. Let me." But when we hear "give our kids," that ain't what you want to hear. And I'm like, I ain't giving my baby to nobody. And he was like, well, let me help you raise her. And that worked it better for me. And I was right there, matter of fact, on 4th Avenue, right by the park.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled up, and anytime I called on him or my Mima or Gwen, they were there. But Alexis was a happy child. She was happy. She was healthy. Her little giggle it was just breathtaking. To see her, walking her walk on the sidewalk. Then at that time you didn't fear your child being outside on the grass barefoot.
No.
We didn't fear them being outside on the grass barefoot or the sidewalk or whatever, or the people riding by. She was just happy, I had the help of my best friend and her mom, but Alexis was a happy baby, man. She was.
I mean, I know she probably was. It's just that I was
She was a light.
I was much older than her, and so I didn't really notice her until she was grown.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
And then you know what I'm saying, the situation, But I remember when I used to see her on social media, I was like, she got her mama face. You know what I'm saying? And she got some of her mama smile. But I didn't put two and two together, and shout out to Cool Roy. And that make a whole lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? And she was a little track star too, or something like that in high school, I believe. Yeah. So I didn't know.
She was like 5 when I left, and I already had 2 more kids by the time I was gone from here. She was 5 years old when I left here.
And what would that have made? What, 15 or 16 when you came back?
She was almost about to graduate when I came back.
So you did get to see her graduate?
I made a vow to her and myself that no matter what it took, I would be there to see her graduate.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Man. What made Alexis a good mother?
Learning from my mistakes.
Yeah.
Having the what not to do, to already coming up trying to break generation curses. But also, I don't take the limelight from my family that helped me. She always had some praying women with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was arrested, I made one phone call. While they were calling DHR, CPS, or whatever you want to call it, I was calling God and my cousin/sister and my aunt/grandmother.
To get her took care of.
To get them.
To
keep my children together. If you don't do nothing else for me, keep my kids together. And they done that.
Yeah.
They done it. And Lexis learned a lot from that.
How old was the other child? Younger than Lexis?
Yes.
How old was the other child at the time?
The youngest was 6 months, and the other one was 3.
So 5, 3, and 6 months. Yeah, boo, that's your story is a complete movie. And thank you so much for coming up here and sharing your testimony with the audience. You know what I'm saying? It means a whole lot to me and this platform and my wife.
I'm grateful.
It really does mean a lot to us. What do you want the world to remember about her beyond how she left the world? The
good, because we all were kids, no child is perfect. But the good, Lexis was love. Lexis was life. Lexis cared. Lexis gave. And Alexis was just Alexis. You don't very much hear, or see when somebody, you want to see them coming. That you want the door to open and you want to see them coming. You could be in the worst spirit and she could come in the house. My husband could tell you, she could come in the house and
brighten the whole joint.
Brighten the whole. If you ever paid attention to us on Facebook, Alexis was just love.
I wasn't outside no more
and
when
Alexis
I didn't never get to see
funny.
her. Yeah.
And Alexis was this life. Love, caring, outgoing. She was a track and field. She was a cheerleader. She was a mother. She worked to give her girls, especially our oldest, that, the first is I'm going to pour all into this one. And when her second baby came, even though it was not long, she loved her girls. Mm-hmm. She wanted the bigger house for them and the better life. She had a good life, but she wanted her girls to have the best life.
As we all do for all our children. Now, what do you feel comfortable sharing about that morning? And could you share with us whatever you feel comfortable sharing?
My family has really always been big about family, like putting things together and having, family over or whatever. And when your kids get grown, they kind of have their own life. So you try to get them to come. So I had put together a little New Year's. Let's bring the New Year's in and, play some games and, see, if we were going to drink, we're going to drink or whatever. But let's bring it in together.
Yeah.
And so we were doing, we did that. And she let me know. She was like, Mom, I'm going to come to you. And then I'm going to go, see my friends. And that's fine. I get to spend some time with you. And, she had a little sister with her and her kids and my Mima and Gwen and all them came. And it was just a joyful moment to everybody, dispersed. And, so Alexis and, her sister, they went up to Sammy T's and with some friends, did whatever they did there. And one of her friends was having a housewarming because she had just bought a home and they went there and played games and stuff. And they kind of knew their limits, so they made their way, on back. And Alexis had come on and her daughter, one of the daughters was with me and the other baby was with my Mima and them. And, she was like, well, Mama, I'm here. I've been drinking and, I'm chill. And a little while after she had made it, her baby's father came and, hey, I come to this roadblock. So I come to get you to, take you home where it's safe. And it's just like if me and you sitting here now and our kids and a person don't show up, if his friend come in or her friend with your daughter, they don't show a sign of aggression, So you don't think nothing of it. Y'all live together. You're gonna get her home safe.
So you saying that her baby daddy came to your house to pick up the baby?
To pick her up. Them.
To pick her up.
And
she was at your house?
Yeah.
With the children?
With one of her kids. The other one was
on
not
the holidays,
there.
Yeah.
Man. So
that's
she
crazy.
wanted, they share a home and hey, I'm going home. And she had been drinking and in our mind, that's what it was, hey. And I still believe at that moment that's what it was.
Yeah, that made sense.
The roadblock.
Her old man came to pick her up.
And take,
on the holidays from my mom's house.
And I'm going to trail you home.
Yeah.
So we, she leave. Everything fine. And me and my younger daughter and my brother and my husband, everybody still sitting there. And I had went and plugged my phone up in the back because it's about dead. I plugged my phone up in the room. And my baby girl, Miracle, was sitting at the table. And excuse my language, but she said, I'm tired of this shit. So as a mother or a father.
You concerned immediately. What you talking about?
What you talking about? Because you think it's with whatever. And she said, he done put his hands on her again. Now, mind you, let me take you back just a tad.
And this right after he done left the house?
Yeah, about an hour.
Yeah.
So, but let's take it back 1 second. When she said he done put his hands on her again.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah. Was that triggering for you? I just got to ask immediately.
Very much.
Yeah.
It was very triggering.
Yeah.
So I went, and there's nothing I haven't quoted already, so there needs to be quoting it again because it's the truth. I went to the back to retrieve my protection because I was going to go with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids being there, my husband always locked things away or move, do whatever. So, I couldn't find it. And I wasn't waiting around for it. I'll fight you with my bare hands if I need to. And me and my daughter left my house to get to her. And she stayed farther out, deep in the back of Athens, and with what was going on and hearing different transactions on the phone, God just told me, you ain't gonna be fast enough. You need to get some help. So I called the police. Mind you, she had called, like I said, she had called her sister. Her sister was on the phone. But while she was driving, her sister gave me the phone and I'm listening. And he just said, I'm gonna kill her, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna kill myself. Meaning her is the 3-year-old at the time. The other one is Alexis, and supposedly was gonna hurt itself. So at this time, when I'm calling for help, I'm telling them what he said. Because everybody might be in danger. But I know they in danger because of whatever reason. It's a gun there, it's a woman, something has sparked this. As we go, you know, we going. But it just seemed like everything slow motion. And we finally make it there. And we wouldn't come in the back way of where she lived, and the police had come in the front way. But, you know, over the years, police stopped parking in the front of the exact location. So if they looking out the window, whatever, they don't see. Only in this certain situation, when we pulled up, the police had got there maybe 2-3 minutes before me. And we got there. When I got there, Miracle had parked, and she seen Alani. And she was like, Mama, Alani. And I got out and I was telling the police, hey, give me my grandbaby, because she want to come with us. She's scared. At the time, I'm not knowing my child is shot because...
Hold on, Bo. Hold on, Shunetta, please. And I apologize for interrupting you. But you said something caused this. And you said what you heard that the young man said on the phone. This doesn't matter, but I still want to know, the audience wants to know, what was on his mind? What had caused this? What
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay, I apologize.
Because I gotta give you how it was given to me. Because if I don't give it to you how I got it, then it ain't the right.
Yeah.
So
I apologize.
Oh, you fine, you fine. Like I said, we got there, and as we were pulling up, they were both on the concrete. And I've been in a spousal situation, boyfriend, girlfriend, the police been called where they detained both of you till they find out the true story. And they were both there, and she moved. So if we pull up and I move, you don't think nothing.
Mm-mm.
I'm still thinking about this 3-year-old up here with the police officers, not really getting it, really having it out with them, giving my grandbaby. So when the officer told him, hey, just give her the kid. So he gave it to me. I put my grandbaby in the car. Miracle made sure she was secure. We stood back to the front, and we heard the man say, does anybody have a medic bag? So now this is real. Who hurt? And I looked down, and it was my daughter. And it became real, like blood down the driveway and medic bag, and them saying they finna call the med flight. And hey, I'm telling you, that's not gonna work. Y'all gonna have to take this ambulance and get my child where she need to go, because can't wait on a chopper. At this time, I don't know how many times she shot. I don't know anything. I just know she hurt and she need to go. So, my husband called me trying to get through. He can't. Moving on, they take my child and whatever. And by this time, I haven't talked to any law enforcement. And mind you, I wasn't directly in the house to know exactly what went on. I had to go off with the detective. If I've been in trouble, so I know the detective come and question me, and I have to tell him, just like with the bank robber, why did you do this? And I had to tell them. And but to get to that, after we were leaving the hospital, and then the next day, me and my daughter and my sister Gwen go and have the talk with the detectives, and the detectives talking to the friends. He said out of his own mouth, he shot my child because she was taunting him. Do you know what the word taunting means?
Yeah.
Could you please tell me what it means?
aggravating, bothering him. Maybe she. Now I know. I mean, just no excuse, but I know women can taunt men and say things, and you ain't this or you ain't that, or you don't work or this, that, that. I don't know, but what I do know, if I'm not mistaken, is it was a 20-year-old boy. Yeah. It don't, I mean, taunting him is not taunting a man to me. I don't mean no harm. My son will be turning 20 this year, and I love him to death. But I just don't see him as a man. Do you see?
They not.
Yeah.
So I didn't ever just get after, him talking to us, because, with it being what it was, they had to trace her steps from here, and here. And talk to the friends and get the details and so on. And I had 2 questions before leaving the police station talking to the detective.
And this is Athens PD?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Detective Caldwell and his staff conducted her investigation, and I had 2 questions because I knew, he had his own weapons. And the catch was, Alexis didn't own a weapon. There was a weapon there. He didn't even shoot her with his weapon. He shot her with the weapon he thought was hers, or the weapon that he felt her friends gave her to protect herself, which wasn't what it was. And I'll take you back to when I spoke on Sammy T's. I've never been to Sammy T's, but Sammy T's don't condone, like most places, you just carry. And the girls, it was about 4 of them. One of them forgot they had their stuff on them, and Lex's car was the closest, so they took it back and put it in the door. During the time while they were there, an altercation broke out, and their friend ended up leaving, have to go out. So they went to find their friend. Nobody's thinking about this weapon still being in the car because they friends, but let's go find our friend because she been drinking. When they finally find her, they got to tussle with her and get her in the car, whatever. Everybody disperse. We gonna link tomorrow. Lexus get home. He uses her vehicle. The gun is there. Your friends done gave you something to hurt me with. It's just a lot. You get what I'm saying? But
in the immature mind of a 20-year-old, that might add up to him.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just, I asked the detective 2 things, Major. And I think it would be 2 things that any parent would want to know, man or woman. I heard my child was shot. Well, I want to know how many times. And he told us she was shot 5 times. Once, twice, she fell. He stood over and shot her 3 more times in the stomach. And I asked him, what caliber gun was she shot with? And he said, she was shot with a 9mm. His? And he said, no. He said, actually, the gun was a stolen gun, and it belonged to one of the friends because he had already questioned the friend. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm getting at is the information I give you is not made up. When I tell people that me and that 3-year-old and my baby girl was there pretty much from tragedy to end, to pull up and see her there, transported to the hospital, told, she had to go in for surgery. They had told my husband that she was hurt, but she was going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then till the 6th, when they come out and told us at 6:09 that she wouldn't hear no more. So when I say I wasn't there for what went on in the house, but the camera outside, I've saw.
Yeah.
You know. And then to see her, to see, the ambulance, to see the hospital, to, you see this. And, even in, it's a tragedy though, all the way around.
All the way around.
This man, because he got other kids, got other babies, and he has family, he has family. And it's just a tragedy all the way around.
Yeah.
Everybody lose, both sides.
Yeah, but but he's still breathing, so he still have the breath of life in him, and that's frustrating for me. Go ahead, your mic is hot.
Oh, I just wanted to say, because I'm sitting over here with tears in my eyes, the fact that you're sitting here talking with so much strength about your story, boo, is admirable. I've been listening to, and some of it's like almost parallel, your mother had you young. From that, the anger, a lot of the anger, what people don't understand is that when you're on survivor mode, when you experience so much trauma at a young age and seeing stuff that you shouldn't see as a child, it does have anger. And I think that anger helped you, like you said, survive through your experiences, whether it's prison and stuff. And to see you transfer that anger to the love. I mean, I'm just thinking about, I remember you hadn't too long got out. I can't remember where we was. And we came across paths. Before we came across paths, I've been seeing you were going to church and stuff. So that journey, I know you say 6 years ago, but it's been going. Like, I remember you were going to church. And I remember seeing it like, oh, okay. And then when we crossed paths, you came to me and you hugged me. So I know what you're saying that you give to those girls when they come to your store is so true and honest, because I remember you gave me and you showed so much love. So to see you transfer that anger and turn it into some love, I mean, I know it nothing but God, someone who has overcome, and to see you overcome and to sit here with the strength that you have. I just wanted to point that out. That is admirable. I mean, it takes a lot. I'm sitting here in tears, like, because I remember what the experience was, just to see, like, oh my God, I know her. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And then remember I reached out. I just want to applaud you. And we really appreciate you at this major coming to tell your story. And another thing I wanted to point out, I know you didn't want to talk about a lot of the organizations you give to, but one thing that stood out to me was during your daughter's loss, I guess purple was her favorite. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to just say, purple stands for, it represents royalty, luxury, power, ambition. You have your store with that. And then you have the purple also represent the domestic violence. And I remember you having that in your store to, advocate for that because of what happens. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good, babe. Even if you throw us all the way off and nothing to do with where we were at. It's great, babe. It's your platform too. Well, wife got to be a wife. A wife got to be a wife, and she's my wife. And if she wanted to come throw to my whole story, a whole testimonial, then I'm fine with that. I knew she was getting emotional over there. Now, back to that day and the aftermath, I have to ask, what was the first 48 hours like mentally, physically, and spiritually?
I don't know.
Just numb.
I just know that it's like my Mima and Gwen and my husband and my girls, even with them, losing their oldest sister, they were the strength. I don't know, but, I just don't know. I just know that the strength came from those around me that made me feel safe. It wasn't real to me, I can tell you that. It just wasn't real.
So real.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I don't want to imagine, and I can't imagine.
But I'm going to say this, because it's something that you don't know. And if we're here and we're going to tell the truth, Major, I buried my only son in 2001.
How old was he? I didn't know that.
But that's why, if we're
going to talk about it.
Know.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know, because, I don't want people to, some people do know this, but if I'm going to sit here and we're going to put this.
We can't skip over
We
nothing.
can, because then it won't be but yes, I buried, it's a difference. It's a grave difference. My son passed away of natural causes in the earthly realm, of God. Nobody took him.
Yeah.
It's a difference between passing on and being taken.
Losing a child and then a child being stripped from you.
But it's a hard pill.
Either way.
To bury two.
Yeah. How old was your son in 01?
My son he was born, he breathed, and then he was born stillborn. So but no more. You get what I'm saying? My sister, she was there for that, Gwen, and preparing his funeral and all that. It was that, but I just be wanting to be truthful, because if anybody was to type the name in, I've buried 2 kids.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. And I'm very sorry about your loss. And I continue, like I always have, to lift you up in prayer. But I had no clue that you lost a son to what physical ailment, something like that. In 01, and then 22 years later, a daughter taken from you. Now, what has grief done to your faith? Did it deepen your faith? I'm sure it challenged you. Did it silence you?
To be real, I had to say this. I use it when I got my mind back. At first, me and God had to have it out.
Right.
I didn't want no church. I didn't want no prayer. I didn't want that because I had been doing that. And my child gone. So me and God, I literally had to get in the room and we had to have it out. He had to tell me some things, and he did. And it took me about a year. In the year that was my year of preparation of getting ready. That's why I tell people, because the reason I say I lost my mind is because knowing God had carried me through all of everything before. I knew he would, so that's why I say lost my mind, because who really goes up against God?
Yeah.
And, but as I started getting back to believing and knowing, it ain't even much to believe, the knowing, like, I had to quote the word to me. He give them to you, he take them away. The earthly realm, they're still a heavenly. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I had to implement that.
Yeah.
God's garden. He got a garden up there. He chose me to be their mother, but them his kids. Major, I had to come out like that. I had to fight myself with the word.
Yeah.
And made my faith deeper.
I had to ask.
You couldn't imagine. It made me. I was hungry. I was hungry for the word. I was hungry. I really was.
And like you said, to go through, and him to bring you through everything you had already been brought through, just to allow 2023 to happen had to be deflating almost. Like, God, what's and so I can't imagine it, but I'm understanding what you're saying while you're articulating that to me, and I can see it. Like, wow, okay, so she was feeling. I'm on a spiritual high, everything good. I moved into my house, my baby moved into her house, all my kids good, everything's great, and then this. You'd have made it through so many lows, and now here's a high, back down to the lowest of lows, losing a child. Like you said, I understand the 01. No, I don't understand. But I heard you say that your young son, that you lost him to physical ailment, and it is a difference. Just got to be a difference between that and a child stripped from you.
It's a great difference.
Yeah, so you saying that within 2 hours of her leaving your house. Yeah. So that's got to be you showing so much strength by sitting here. Like, and I know you've been through a lot, and I know you're strong, but man, it's still a lot of strength.
It's not my strength, Major.
Yeah.
You know what I say all the time. I even when I tell my husband or tell my friends, people at work, it don't just stop. Like, this is me. Anybody come in my store, everything. I feel if it was left up to me, I wouldn't want to get out the bed. I'm just being real. But it's not my strength, It's not. Even with my family, with my sister, my Mima, whoever, the Alexis sisters, it's not us. It's God. That's who it is, you know. That's just what it is.
So the purpose after the trauma. I want you to tell me, what do you believe Alexis' life and death should awaken in our community? Because it did happen in our community. And I remember at the time that my wife and I spoke on people that age dating and just how dangerous it had become. You know, we used to know how to break up. If I went, I didn't like you no more. Or if I heard something had went on, we didn't hurt each other. I mean, I ain't talking about people had domestic violence issues happen, but a life was never taken. And for me, that was a whole new thing. It was like the kids out here wilding out like that because of their feelings. Like, I felt like little boys just wasn't little boys no more. I felt like, if I feel a way of you shun me or what you say, antagonize me. I can't remember the specific word that you used.
Taunting.
Taunt me. I mean, I've been taunted my whole life. They say, Major, you're a little big and you look like one of those strings, and they laughed at me my whole life. And you know what I'm saying? And I was able to, we had thicker skin is what I'm getting at than whatever these boys have now. Not to shade the young man, but I mean, to shade the young man.
I think this is what I think. And I'm always a realist. What I think is, no matter who we are, if we are living the life to where no matter if it's man or woman, and we have to prove that we are who we are. You're not going to talk to me any type of way, man or woman. We are who we are, because he had already shot 3 people. So
prior to his relationship with your daughter?
Yes. That didn't come out until I didn't know.
Was she aware?
She had to be. She was from that stomping ground. So yes, she had to be. Very much so. I'm pretty sure she was aware.
Yeah.
3 juveniles. But it didn't come out until her case.
How was he still on the street? I mean, I just gotta ask.
He was sentenced to probation. He ended up messing up.
Yeah. I forgot, if you black and you shoot a black, we let you right back on the street.
He ended up messing up. And yes, then he had to go and back up the time. But his record was sealed. Again, that did not come out until, if you didn't know about it, you wouldn't have known about it up until, because I didn't know about it. But I didn't even know him. My kids did. I didn't know him. I know his mom. I knew, all of that once I got to talking to him. But I didn't know, you know a person after you, I know your mama, I know, So I just feel like, not to take up for him, because I'm angry. But if you've walked that walk, because I've walked that walk back in the day, you ain't just gonna talk to me no type. I don't care who you is.
Yeah, no.
And I feel like that played, if you got that mindset, that's a big part of it too. Gotta live up to who you say you is.
Yeah, my dad always told me that I wasn't a thug. And he always reminded me of that. I gotta ask, have you been able to forgive him in your heart? Not with words, in your heart.
Major, to be honest, what choice do I have if I'm gonna walk the walk of ministry? I can't stand up. I can't stand. Am I hurt? I'm very hurt. I'm angry. I'm mad. But do I forgive him? What choice do I have? I got to. Somebody forgave me.
Yeah. I see what all you'd have been through. You bring that back into play. That make a lot of sense. I do feel that it's our job as humans to forgive, but I think ultimately forgiveness is of God. Now, if I'm of God, I should be forgiving, but I haven't been stripped of a child. And no ministry, I don't know. I just can't. I can't even really relate. And to know or not, would I forgive or should I forgive? Because I do know that that's God's job is to forgive and you can repent, and then he can wash your sins away. I can't wash I can't wash you clean white as snow. That's gonna be on God.
You can't, but if you trying, see, I can't go to hell and burn with him.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I got to go to heaven, and the godly part of me, I'm gonna walk that walk.
Yeah, you can't get there with that in your
The
heart.
motherly
like
part of me, different ball game.
Yeah.
But I'm on another path right now, hoping not to get sucked back into that path. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah.
I hear you say hoping not to get sucked back in. Is that something that you fear that something could happen, again within your life? As far it seems like you're in a good space.
I am, but I'll tell you what I tell my husband and anybody around me every day. One thing, and I'm a realist. Just because my titles have changed, I'm gonna always be real. The judicial system fails us every day.
That's a fact.
Follow me. What would be your biggest fear? What's if 20 years from now I'm still alive and I gotta walk past it? I'm a realist.
Oh man, yeah, I see. Wow, a parent thinking
you fight the flesh every day
I
to
fight
not
the
go
flesh.
back to be, because we got to remember.
Because what if 20 years from now?
She try not to.
What if we give you 15, 20? We watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see this?
What if you get some good time? I'm still young and feel away. But that's why, Shunetta, that you're supposed to go to the hearings and say, no, I feel like this, and that this, that, and the third, and they shouldn't be,
To catch what I'm getting at, I think in so many words, unless a person is sentenced to life without or the death penalty, you can get out one day.
How did I thought that he got life without?
He hasn't been sentenced. They are going for the death penalty.
Yeah.
That is, he was offered life without, and he turned it down.
Like, did you guys record any of the iPhone conversation?
We didn't have to. They have everything.
They got everything, yeah.
There's nothing that we had to do.
Yeah. Because word on the street was that he said what you told me that you confided in us here and said that he said, which was you, the child, and then myself. And so, but the court of law in the streets, if the court of law know that, then this was, premeditated,
And you just spoke the word that the detective said to me. I'm not where they are in as far as murders and so on. And the man told me, once a person hit the ground and you stand over them and you shoot them, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
That's not self-defense.
That's premeditated. You executed her.
And why is it taking this long to, it's just like the same thing going on with the Steve Perkins.
We got a call. We have a trial date this year.
Okay, wonderful. I ain't trying to see nobody go down or nothing like that. I don't wish that on my worst enemy, but
we have a trial date this year.
I am an American, and I do like our judicial system, and I do believe in our judicial system, and I think justice should get served sooner rather than later.
I feel that justice will be served. I do. But being a parent,
that's your biggest fear.
That is my biggest
justice
fear.
Is not served.
That I've saw this. I'm watching this every day now.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids being hurt in you 10, 15 years for the unthinkable.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to walk past them?
Yeah.
See, that's where the test of faith will come in. So, when my prayer be every day, God, don't test my faith.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Just go and give him 50 years, Lord, and that'll be my little lifetime, and then I'll be out of here. He'll still be young, and he can get out at 70. Yeah.
But you see.
Mm-hmm. I see. I definitely see that. What would you tell a woman who's currently afraid in her own relationship?
What I've told everybody since, even before, because, I haven't been exempt to it. It's just I'm here. Leave. Go. Forget the TV. Forget the car. Forget the money. Go. It's real. Get out. Go.
But he take care of me. But he take care of my kids.
It's always a but.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I had a
I
butt
had to
too.
give you the butts.
You right.
Yeah.
I had a butt major. But guess what? My butt got on out of there with a bag and $800. No car, no gone. And they took care of me. Go. It's becoming real now.
Yeah.
Because you see it a lot more now.
You see it
like
a lot
it's
more.
comfortable for a man to take a woman's life now. Yes, it happened back in the day, once, twice. You never really heard about this.
Nah.
But now,
men aren't even chivalrous. Men don't open doors for women. None of that.
I can't have you, nobody can. Come on.
Yeah.
And that's the everyday reality. And I see it more now that it happened in our home, you know? But yeah. I would tell them to get out. Go. Call me.
You know, I had to ask that because of what you've been through with your child. And there is definitely parents listening, grandparents listening. And like you said, you were sitting at the crib and your daughter said, I'm tired of hearing about this, or they fighting her, he jumped on her again. The kids are more hip to what's going on with their siblings than a parent and or a grandparent. And
they were close.
That's what I'm saying. And so I just want parents and grandparents who might be listening to this to just become more aware. You know what I'm saying?
Look for the signs. Yeah. It's a sign, you know. And in Lex's case, when I did initially find out and see, it was 2 weeks before, he bit her in the face. You can't hide that mark. And my sister had called me. She had already prepared me for it in a club. He locked down on her in the face, and some guys had to put it apart. She couldn't hide that from me. She didn't come to me. She went with a friend.
And what you didn't see her until criminal time.
No, I saw her the next day. She didn't come to me that night it happened. She came to us the next day. But my sister had already made me aware.
I know you had an issue with that.
You ain't gonna see her, but this is what went on. Mm-hmm. And so when I let her know I knew, then she came. And that was 2 weeks before the incident. You know, people say, why you didn't do nothing? Did you say? I did. I reached out, honestly, to his mother that birthed him. Because you have a woman that's like, oh, you didn't reach out to me. Later, you're with his mother. I reached out to who gave birth to him. Before I killed you. And see, I wouldn't where I was then is not where I was now.
Right.
So my words then was, before I kill your son, you need to talk to him, tell him keep his hands off my child. Because people know I don't, you know.
Yeah, we know.
And, you know, my husband, he feels.
Yeah.
So with that, we did. But I don't want to hurt your kid and you feel what I feel now.
That made me want to ask you a question, boy. You know, and I'll let you answer it for him. In hindsight, I can't even ask that.
He can.
I can't even ask that. Yeah, no, but it ain't. It's not good. It ain't good.
Let's not answer.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So, and we've been doing a wonderful job and getting this done the right way. You know, and so if there's one warning sign, since you just talked about that, if it's one warning sign that you beg women to take seriously, what would it be? As far as the woman in the situation with the male, there's with the DV situations and everything like that, but she don't think this is ever going to be more than DV.
When the voices keep being raised, or when the mood shift all of a sudden, or that itch up your back. When
you say the mood shift all of a sudden, are you talking about the Jekyll and Hyde in him?
The Jekyll and Hyde in him.
Okay, but I'm married and I get frustrated with my wife and I might raise my voice sometimes.
It's different.
But but she know that this don't mean I'm finna hit her or anything.
She would know the difference.
Oh, okay.
A person would have to went through this to know it. She would know.
Yeah, see, I don't.
You, her husband, you ain't gonna know it because you're not that man. Get what I'm saying? He ain't gonna know it because he's not that man. I'm gonna know it because I've been on the opposite side of it, and that man gonna know it because it's in him.
Yeah, he ready to do something to you.
He ready to do something to you. There's always gonna be a sign. But even with the sign, we think we can love it out of them.
And you can't hide toxic.
No.
So she what she's seeing when they'll know.
They will know.
I think weak men and lesser men, I think that they know when they want to put their hands on a woman, I think they know that that's not right.
They do.
Yeah, but something allows them to go ahead with it. You know, I ain't saying you 10 and and the girl 11 or 12 and y'all get to fighting at the park. I ain't talking about that.
Love and
You
basketball.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't talking about love and basketball, you know.
Love and basketball.
Yeah, I'm talking about real physical, you know, it's nothing. This guy over here is nothing you ladies can do with him. You know what I'm saying? And if he wanted to take advantage of that, then that would be cowardly of him.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a better challenge.
You right.
I'm quicker. You know what I'm saying? And things like that, you know. And I just don't think that it's fair. I don't think it's physically fair.
It's not, Major.
Yeah, and I've never been on the other end. Like I'm a lady, and this big dude really sitting here acting like he finna hit me, which is crazy. And I'm just a small lady or whatever, or rather I'm a big lady. No, I'm still a lady. My muscle mass ain't the same as yours.
That's it. You're still a woman.
Yeah.
But honestly, Major, it's signs. The signs come before the sign. You get it? Like it does. And I've known this because I've been there, but I've studied this. This is something I chose to study to help. You know, I rescued 6 women, brought them different states, housed them, safe haven. And you know the number one thing all of them always tell me?
What?
He just always would get angry if I put a pencil down the wrong way. There is always a sign, Major.
And so you saying that the people that the ladies that you're talking to would notice that, and my wife agreed with that, and you said that it's something different because you'll be able to know because it'll be in the guy. You'll be able to tell, you know what I'm saying? It won't just be a regular, he raised his voice or she raised their voice.
It's just something that'll be known.
And so you said it'll be a sign before the sign. Now, a lot of the ladies have got a sign and they still in it. Earlier we mentioned the bag, security, children, comfortability. Number one thing that women like is security. And that's hard for them to pry themselves away from it. And I understand that you just said it earlier, just clean cut, just leave. Just leave. And it just ain't always as easy as that.
But like I said, it was hard for me too. I had houses, cars. It wasn't easy. I had hospital visits and all. You get what I'm saying? But one of my last hospital visits was, no. I can't love you enough to change you.
Yeah. No. You got to love yourself and God enough to challenge yourself to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And love yourself more so you can leave and walk away. Love yourself more than you want to love him and change him.
So, what's one lesson? We're getting ready to wrap up now. What's one lesson that prison taught you that you wish the youth understood?
That it doesn't take getting there to get there. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand.
So that's my motto. It doesn't take going to prison to get the point. It doesn't take getting there to get there. I didn't have to go to, I tell people this, Major, and it's different for me. Prison actually saved my life. I'm sorry. You know.
I've heard a few people say that.
Prison saved me. Living how I was. I went to prison. I got my GED, trades, and they're accredited in the feds. Prison saved my life. Now, did I learn how to come out and break the law several other different ways? If that's what I chose to do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take going to prison to get it. Because 9 times out of 10, and I'm sorry I had to implement how I came up. I came up under your granddad and them. People was always there, giving us the jewels. Listen, it doesn't take getting there to get it. And that's what I always now had to tell myself.
It doesn't take getting there to get there. And you saying mentally to get there. Okay, well, but you know, the frontal lobe, like we said, it don't develop, you know, until we get to a certain age. And so before then we need some guidance. And kids, they don't like guidance. When they get about 17, everybody in here got kids can agree, they just don't like guidance anymore.
But listen, this is how I look at it. That person may have a 3-year-old, I may have a 3-year-old. That person may have a 10-year-old, I may have a 10-year-old. That person may have a 16-year-old, I may have a 16-year-old. That 16-year-old out there doing everything and you telling them, hey, this 16-year-old here, I'm telling them the same thing. They get it.
Mm-hmm.
The other one got to go get it to get it. You don't have to do that. Prison, when I got to prison, that's when I got it. I didn't have to come and get this to get it. I already had it. Mm-hmm. I had it from so many people, be it Bishop, be it my aunt. I had it, but I had to go get it to get it. And I'm not upset about it. I did my time.
That was your particular journey.
That's what it was written.
Yeah,
I did it. Can I do it now? No. Will I do it now?
No.
No. But you don't have to get it to get it.
That was a completely different young lady. She was on a completely different type of time. And there was a different dispensation of time on earth, period. The early 2000s versus now.
Yeah.
It's just the world has changed. Completely
it really
changed.
Has.
Now, what is one lesson that grief taught you that shallow people do not comprehend? Mm.
I can't give an answer because I don't have one.
All of us can't understand grief. You know what I'm saying? I've never grieved like what you see.
I can just give you the real of me and how I've saw it with shallow people, my experience. Until you lose a child, you just won't get it. The insecurities of, I'll just give you an example. You ain't passed that yet? Well, Major, when I'm supposed to get past it? But that's shallow, right?
Yeah.
I told my husband, she's still tripping on that.
Of course. She lost a part of herself. Your husband should have been highly offended.
He was.
He should have been highly offended.
He was working.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. So you knew what to ask. You asked this to me in the principal's office. Yeah. Well, I can't put you knew what you was doing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. My God.
So I could only answer with an answer of what I went through. Mm-hmm. I tell people this, after people who've lost kids after me, and you knew what was gonna come, how people were gonna do. I feel like this. This is how I feel, Major. We've lost our kids. I understand the other party wants to defend their children. Defend them to God. You ain't got to come to social media. Respect the other side. Because at the end of the day, it's a grieving mother and a mother who still has their child. You don't have to get your opinion off. Keep it to yourself or give it to where you need to give it to, and that's the court system. That's shallow to me to voice your opinion,
Yeah.
Don't do that.
About something that you haven't experienced.
About something you haven't experienced. All you know is just like, people lose their kid. We haven't seen it lately. People have lost their kids.
Yeah.
And people come on social media where we say, we know that child is this, where he was doing that, or make it to look like he or she deserved to leave here.
Yeah.
When you could just keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
How shallow is that? That's shallow.
I learned not to condemn parenthood after doing the best job I could and the child just doing what they want to do.
Because you've done your part.
At some point, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but at some point the child is not a representation of me. The child is a complete representation of themselves.
Yeah, because God. They are their own person.
They're their own person.
They are. And I stand firm with that.
Yeah.
You can raise your kid up the right way. The right way.
Yeah.
Because I know some amazing parents. I've watched them raise their children.
Yeah.
But they still do what they want.
Yeah,
But at that time, Major, they become their own person.
I did that as well. And my example is neither one of my parents smoked or drank in my home. I come from a 2-parent household. So me smoking and drinking is not a reflection of them.
No.
That's a reflection of me, my poor
Yourself.
choices, my poor habits, and my relationship with God and or lack of.
I didn't come from a family of bank robbers and dope dealers.
They didn't teach you that.
They didn't teach me that in my household.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
I learned that be however.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come out my house.
No.
I'm not a reflection in that aspect. You get what I'm saying? Of the people that raised me. I'm not. I come from church and all that.
The reason I brought that up is because us as parents, we will blame ourselves for everything that's happening in a child's life.
When she left, or when I will say this, when a child leaves, even when a child go to jail, it don't just have to be the child leave or child go to jail and you ask yourself, what could you have done better? You know what God whisper and tell you? I can answer that because I've had the both. With my children still here, why they don't take to me? Why this? Why that?
What do he say?
1 minute, God told me, that's them.
That's them.
You done your part.
Yeah, that's them. My final question is, what is one lesson that building a business taught you about discipline and self-respect?
Building a business has taught me, you have to discipline yourself in different aspects. To give an example, I run a clothing boutique, right? And I remember opening my first clothing boutique, Major. Every time somebody came in and said, do you have this, and this? I went and got this, and this. That's not discipline. That's pleasing. I opened this one and I knew you got to discipline yourself, Shunetta. You got to, just because somebody come in and want a black hat don't mean you go order it. It's just different aspects of the discipline. The way you speak, the way you conduct yourself. When your people come in the store, anybody, you don't waver.
Professionalism.
If I'm gonna greet you with a hug, a smile, and a hello, it's the same. You gotta have discipline all through, even with your funds.
Stewardship.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. You have to. And another thing with the discipline is, if you have a gem that you can give the next man, give him that gem.
Oh boy, put people to withhold the information and
stop them from,
and they gatekeep the information.
Break it. You're not supposed to. That's not discipline. No. You're not gonna grow.
That's selfishness.
You cannot bring selfishness.
If you holding some good information from them, then you really holding it from yourself. Yeah.
You hindering your blessings, your profit. Because one way or another, it all ties in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta discipline you. You gotta have your stewardship. You gotta have the discipline, the persona, but most of all, you gotta have the drive and the want to do right, no matter what the business is. No matter the business, no matter even writing my book, I had to have that.
Where can we find your book at?
My book is about to be released. I will be doing.
I want you to come back.
Okay.
When the book release, I want to sit the book on the table,
Gotcha.
and I want to sell the book on the platform. We got several places that they can just touch a button and just buy the book off the platform. And I would love to have you come back
do that.
when the book come out.
I would love to come back.
Yeah. What's the name of the book? Can we have a sneak? The
name of the book is Urban Rise. And it's a story about struggle, rising to the top from basically overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, you had this kind of life right now. You know what I'm saying? I just pray that it just, you know what I'm saying, that God smooth it on out for you.
Yeah, Urban Rise.
Okay. Shunetta Garth Owens.
That's what he called me. We let him pass.
Thank you for your courage. and your restraint. I pray Christ Jesus strengthens you and establishes the work of your hands. And to the audience, if you're in any danger, seek help. Minister Garth Owens just said, leave immediately, ladies.
Call me.
Okay. Yeah, call her. I guess we'll have to leave some contact information in the description so you ladies can call her if you're going through something. And if you're in grief, don't walk alone. If you're in shame, remember your future is not required to look like your past. And that's what I have in closing, and that's major. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. That's major.
Yeah, I think it was good. I'm sorry for interrupting. You'll carry out.
God tell you to say something, right?
All day. All day tomorrow.
Looking down like,
Tonight?